Hi and welcome, welcome and welcome. I'm so excited to have you join us today on this transformative journey. We're going to unlock the secrets of how you can easily recharge and enhance your intimate fulfillment. It's through a simple method of training your nervous system and investing less than 5 minutes a day and becoming a master of amazing relationships. My name is Matthias Schwentek. I'm the creator of SomaticConsent.com, and I invite you to set aside 20 to 30 minutes and make sure you sit comfortable, turn off your phone, and get prepared for a lot of valuable information. I will guide you through this training to my number one secret and show you an amazing roadmap to use in your life, making sure you never get lost again in any kind of connection. Please comment and ask questions in the lower right-hand corner. I will personally respond to all of them after this call. And at the end, I have a free bonus gift for you, how you can make the most out of this training and really use it in your life. That's what I'm going to show you here today. It's just amazing. Does it sound good? Okay, please come with me on this exciting journey to experience the 4 different ways of connection and communication through touch and how to use these insights in your personal life and your profession. As you deepen your practice, you'll find this useful in all areas of your life and how to deepen a better relationship with your lover, with your friends, with colleagues, with clients and participants, or in any kind of social situation. So who is this training actually for? It is especially for you if you are interested in personal and professional development and intimate relationship enhancement. In fact, it's about learning how to empower yourself and others in making choices, expressing desires and limits, and make clear agreements based on your values and truth. It shows you very clear who is doing the action and who the action is really for, based on the 5-minute touch exercise that I'm going to show you here in just a few moments. So please stay with me. And to make it really as easy as possible, I like to narrow all of this down to one magic word, and that's consent. And because the embodiment of consent makes all the difference, I call it somatic consent. So have you ever felt, despite all your success, a sense of disconnection and a kind of loneliness or emptiness? Do you find yourself overwhelmed at times, lost in your busy thoughts, questioning if there's more to life than just climbing the professional ladder? Are you juggling a demanding career on one hand, while craving deeper and meaningful connections on the other? Have you faced moments where confronting these feelings seemed almost useless? Have you ever doubted whether real change was possible? When I was at this point, I started searching and turning over every stone that I could find. And after years, I discovered something incredible, how to change my life in just a few minutes a day. This discovery I made didn't just change my life, it laid the foundation for the work I do today, and it has impacted so many who have embraced it too. So could you recall times where you felt the gap between your professional achievements and your personal fulfillment? How did that feel? Just take a moment and hold on to that feeling as we move deeper into this journey together. So why do we actually need consent? Imagine a world where every touch, every interaction is consensual, full of clarity and deeply fulfilling. Where the depth of connection and intimacy that you experience is transformative. And that's the world I invite you in here today. So let's go deeper into the importance of consent and how it works. Because it is essential for creating safety and respectful environments during every encounter, building trust and mutual respect. So consent in action is clear communication and regular check-ins that helps everyone to engage and make every encounter more joyful and effective. It's about establishing a common terminology and clear communication to enhance people's engagement and comfort by clarifying rules and boundaries, especially when you need to set the tone to provide guidelines and upholding them. So connecting in agreements ensures safer, fulfilling, and joyful experiences. So you can create your own desired environment and making sure you understand and respect everybody else's choices and boundaries. And my question, what made you joining here today? Please write in the comments, and maybe you just want to explore how to surrender or express the depth of your true desires. Or maybe it's about deepening the intimacy in your relationships through honest communication. So whatever your goal or challenge is, let me assure you, you are here in the right place, and I will guide you through a very effective learning method. So I know how it feels to be confused about this subject because I've been there for many years. So I've been involved in the Tantra world and sacred sexuality for over a decade as a professional practitioner and facilitator, working with people from all ages and stages. So I have evolved from viewing consent as just a word to fully understand and embodying it. So my path led me through over 300 workshops and trainings worldwide, including relationships, touch, sexual empowerment, and transformation through pleasure. And this extensive journey of learning, practicing, and teaching has been both challenging and enriching. And I hope my journey towards empowerment and consent blends with your journey of self-discovery and avoiding all the traps lying on the way. And I share here my #1 magical secret in just a few moments, how it all works and how it all fits together. So if you want to read more about somatic consent, I have published a book called Orgasmic Blueprint. That's a very intriguing title with everything that you need to know about this subject. And it's for individuals, couples, and intimate professionals. And it provides tools for pleasure, desire, and communication. And the book became a bestseller on Amazon in the category sexuality. So check out the link, check out the link here to the left and or there, and wait a moment before we move on. All right, so today we are diving deep into a topic that is crucial for all our connections and intimacy with others and our very understanding of all human interactions, individually and professionally. So when you hear the word consent, what comes into your mind? For many, it's a simple yes or no. And it goes far beyond that. Embodied consent is tuning into the wisdom of your body. And it's about to guide authentic and delicate interactions. Consent is a journey of self-awareness. It's an ongoing conversation you have not just with others, but with yourself. And it helps you to understand your desires, your boundaries, and the spaces in between. So imagine a world where all of your interactions, especially those of touch and intimacy, are rooted in clarity and in mutual understanding, in respect for each other's desires and boundaries. For example, is when you go dancing, where dance partners check in their comfort levels before engaging and then are constantly listening to each other's bodies. Professional collaboration, when all team members clearly communicate rules and objectives before starting a project. Or intimate relationships, where couples have ongoing conversations about desires and boundaries. Physical sessions, where you discuss comfort levels and boundaries before starting any action. Participating in all kinds of events, where the attendees and facilitators share clear intentions and codes of conduct. Social gatherings, where guests and hosts are upfront clear about boundaries and the nature of the gathering. So this is the world that I envision, a world where consent isn't just an afterthought, but the foundation of your connections. So a place where it doesn't prevent just misunderstanding, but actively creates deeper, more meaningful connections with people and the world that you are living in. Wouldn't that be a great world? I think so. And as we journey here together today, my reminder to you is that consent is transformative. Consent has the power to change lives and relationships and your very perception of touch and intimacy. So I like to invite you to a short dive into the human psyche, because it's essential to recognize the shadows that often surface in our interactions, driven by our primal instincts. So somatic consent doesn't shy away from these shadows. Instead, it equips you with the tools to integrate and transform them. And you might find yourself in some of these expressions. So here are a few live examples where and how the shadows can come up. Perhaps you have more ideas and experiences. So in workplace conflicts, in your intimate relationship dynamics, parent-child dynamics with your parents or with your children, conflicts in friendships, personal boundary setting for professional growth, people being confrontative and projecting their story onto you. So navigating these shadows isn't a journey that you can undertake alone. Wouldn't it be great to have a space where every shadow can be looked at and every light is celebrated? Because the pitfall of the shadows is they're hidden to you and you can't see them yourself, right? You need others to reflect them. So the most difficult thing you might struggle with is asking for what you really want. So let's take a few moments and reflect on the following questions to show you what I mean with the shadows and how to find them. So feel free to make screenshots of the questions. Okay, so why don't you ask for what you really want? Let's reflect on that. That's a really, really deep question and guides you straight to the core and the roots of your soul, if you want to say so. It's a deep question. Why don't you ask for what you really want? And what are you doing instead if you don't ask for what you want? So what are you doing instead if you don't ask for what you want? This will guide you deep into the rabbit hole. So, but maybe others can ask for what they want. So why is it difficult for you to say no when others ask you? Why is it difficult to say no when others ask you for what they want? And what are you doing instead of saying no? So fact is, we are all going to be doing something, right? Because we all have needs and desires we want to get met. So let these questions and your reflections just sink in a little bit, and it shows you straight into these shadows. So the great news are you can transform them. How? It's like Buckminster Fuller said, you never change things by fighting the existing reality. To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete. And this model is what I'm going to show you here in just a few seconds. It's the Somatic Consent Engagement System. And this system starts with your base. So your base underscores self-love, self-awareness, self-care, and radical self-responsibility through feeling yourself. And I show you how you can embrace yourself and embody pleasant sensations on a somatic level, because the somatic nervous system is really important here, because we're either moving towards something that we desire or we move away from something that doesn't feel good. So luckily, there is an amazing path for this. So let's build your base. And to effectively do that, I like to give you a deeper understanding of how you find it with some illustrations. So you find all of this demonstrated as well in the book and in my online courses. So your base is everything that belongs to your domain. So what you have a right to and what you are responsible for. And that includes all your feelings, your body, your thoughts, your beliefs, your desires, your limits and boundaries, and taking full ownership of this. But the most important thing in your base is about what direct pleasure is and how you can find it. But what might happen for most of you before is you lose yourself in indirect pleasure. And I'll show you what that is and how that works. This is how it happens. When you're going into any action, for example, to move your hand, your brain is sending signals to your muscles to go into action, right? Simple. And when the other person is involved in this action and their positive response comes back to you, that activates your pleasure center, right? So this is what we call indirect pleasure. So their pleasure is your pleasure. So you do something to make people feel good so that you feel good about yourself when they feel good about what you do. Makes sense? Or vice versa. Somebody is doing something to you to get the reaction that they want you to have, but you can't feel it. And then you pretend or perform. I have done that. So this is what I invite you here today to turn around into direct pleasure. And that's how it works. So there are gazillion nerve endings in your hands, in your skin. Yeah? And they are connected to your pleasure center through the sensory inflow in your skin. And there is a huge part in your brain dedicated to your skin and in your hands to feel and make sense of the world. So this is what we call the direct route of pleasure. So you go into action for your own pleasure, for your own benefit, for what feels good for you. And that is what I like to invite you here to start practicing just 5 minutes a day, activating direct pleasure through an ongoing pleasure meditation with your hands. Because this is crucial to embody the principles where the entire new model, the somatic consent engagement system, is built on. So in short, you will learn to experience direct pleasure as a benefit for yourself while you are in action in an ongoing process. Some people go in the pitfall, they know that, and then they stop doing it, but the deepening is the core here. But now here comes another very important question. How is it really when you touch another person? Can you stay in connection with your sensation of direct pleasure? And that's why the meditation is so beneficial. Or how do you feel when your direct inflow is not open? So why could it be difficult for you to go in action and feel pleasure for yourself? Some examples could be you might feel shame or guilty or, or you feel fear or afraid, or you have some beliefs that this is not okay, or that they don't like you, or you're having fear of rejection, or you have bad memories related to touch, or you have expectations, or you think the other person has expectations, or being too selfish to do that for yourself, or any conditionings like education, society, religion, just to mention a few. So I ask you at the beginning, how do you feel the gap between your professional achievements and your personal fulfillment? Do you remember? Here is the gap. So now I invite you to take just a few moments and feel for yourself, why could it be difficult for you to be in action and feel pleasure for yourself when you touch another person? And again, why could it be difficult for you to be in action and feel pleasure for yourself in your skin when you touch another person? So just give yourself a few moments to reflect on this, and if you like, write them in the question or comments down. So to make it really clear, indirect pleasure is not wrong or bad, so we don't want to cut that out. You need and use it as a professional and personal for many ways. But when this indirect pleasure is the only realm that you know and mostly intimate relate in that world, you make yourself dependent on what's coming back and miss out on this real deal within. And as we talked about the shadows and the gap, here you find some of the roots. So this simple exercise to find and practice direct pleasure is this #1 secret where personal fulfillment and real transformation is built on. And that world of direct pleasure is where true connection and intimacy with yourself is rooted and where you really grow. This is an inside job, and luckily there's this practice that you can do. So this simple dynamic is creating a holistic and integrated approach to life that leads to a deeper understanding and experience of connection and pleasure. It goes far beyond any technical skills, and it's about creating your base of personal empowerment and autonomy from which you can empower others within the scope of all your existing skills that you have already. So practicing direct pleasure as a touch meditation minimum twice a week will make a significant difference in embodying your connection to yourself and others. So somatic consent is based on these neurological principles. So you'll learn more about that in a few moments. So building this foundation is a life-changing key to embody the differences between direct and indirect pleasure, when and how to use them, and what happens when you ignore them. So it is an anchor ensuring that you climb higher in your journey of intimate connection, so you remain grounded and you can authentically express your truth. From here you can build and becoming an expert of connections. It's like a musician. So the more you practice, the better you will become. And my invitation to you here is to create this internal symphony of intimate fulfillment. Okay, are you ready to bring this understanding to the next level? So the somatic consent engagement system is your guide in a practice that we call the 3-minute game. So this practice stands for 4 basic ways of all human interactions. And this creates the engagement zones in the system that I will show you in a few moments. So you will learn how the dance between your desires and limits work together. So you will embody giving and receiving in all your relationships at work, family, or in everyday life. This skill helps you to connect with others in a different way, and you understand consent in many different situations. It's like the philosopher Plato said, you can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. And that includes learning about yourself. Okay, so I will switch my cam here to show you how that works. For example, when I'm in action, am I doing what I want or am I doing what you want? And when you are in action, are you doing what you want or are you doing what I want? Here's how the game works. You start with 3 minutes and you play as long as you both agree. I do what I want. For example, I want to lean my head on your shoulder. And I do what you want. For example, you want me to massage your neck. You do what you want. For example, you want to hug me. And you do what I want. For example, I want you to massage my hands. And all within your limits, all the limits of the other. And this is where real communication beforehand comes to play. It shows you who is doing the action and who is the action really for, because taking this simple dynamics apart will show you all the differences in life. So this creates a developmental blueprint, like a compass of engagement that begins with your base. So direct pleasure in your skin guides you into your base. And the 3-minute game leads you into the engagement zones. So here you see when you are in action, your action is either for you or your action is for them. Or when it's their action, it's either for you or for them. It's either your action or it's their action. It's either for you or it's for them. And this dynamics is your starting point. So this is where direct pleasure in your hands comes to play when your action is for you. You need a request. Can I touch you, or can I lean my head on your shoulder? And on the level of human connection, that needs permission. And when it's their action and it's for you, that needs a different request. Can you do such and such? Can you massage my neck? And that is an agreement, not permission. So when it's their action and it is for them, you need to give permission to feel comfortable and safe, right? Yes, you can do that. You can lean your head on my shoulders. And when it's your action for them, you need to agree to that what is being requested to you. Yes, I can do that, maybe for a minute or two. Okay, now when it's for you, you are on the receiving side of life. This is about what you want, is your desires and making requests. And when it's for them, you are on the giving side of life. This is what you are willing to and your limits and making offers. So my experience is that people will naturally be drawn towards you, experience a sense of safety, value, and understanding when you have this dynamics embodied. So now you see the blueprint of consent, a structure for personal, professional, and spiritual development through playful practice and exploration. So this is the roadmap that I spoke to you at the beginning, right? So do you remember the two questions that we were going into just a few minutes ago? Why don't you ask for what you want, and what are you doing instead? And why is it difficult to say no, and what are you doing instead? Here you can identify where and why you can get stuck in life. So where do you identify yourself in? Just check the squares for a few seconds, and please feel free to write in the comments if you like. So here you can identify in which part of this dynamics you fall into the shadows. So please make a screenshot if you like, so that you are getting to the core of this call. So I have a complete training on that subject, and because after all this information, I want you to leave with a clear pathway here. So here are a few examples from people going through this transformation and of embodiment of this process. Luna learned to slow down and to feel. And this helped Dan how to deeply connect sensually and sexually. And Jenny learned the difference between experience sensation and relational patterns. So my question is, what's your key learning? Please write in the comments below, and I love to hear your feedback and experiences about consent. Is this content helpful so far? And how would you feel if I could help you even more with this dynamics? So now you have two options. So you can either choose to go alone with it and take what you have learned here and apply it in your life and use it. And I think you are going to get some results out of that. Or you choose the second option, because you might have a lot of questions or some insecurities about whether it's going to work. And there might be some gaps that you still need to have to fill. So, and as I mentioned in the beginning of this training, I have a free gift for you. So if you want to get an individual step-by-step path to get from where you are to where you want to be with your personal life and professional connection, you can get this free reset course straight away here on the right side. And in this course, you start practicing and learning more about the touch exercise. I dropped the link here. And I'm really excited about this content, and I love teaching this material, and it will help you to change how you think about touch, pleasure, connection, and communication in all forms of relationships. And if you want to learn more about the 4 dynamics of connection we went through in this training, I have a specific in-depth training about the 3-minute game and course, Foundation of Enhanced Pleasure. Here it comes. And because I'm so grateful that you stayed with me till the end, and I know this material will change your life. And I really want you to take full advantage of it. And I give you a special discount on top of that, a free 30-minute Zoom call with me where you can discuss any questions about the material, the course, any questions you might have or want to share with me. So please don't miss this chance and take action now to improve all your relationships and interactions with your family, children, co-workers, partners, friends, and others in your life. So take action now. Here are a few people who choose that opportunity for an upgrade in their lives. So Linda, an educator and transpersonal therapist, she got new insights and heightened self-awareness for exploring healthier, more meaningful relationships in her life and sessions. And Richard gained transformative insights into relationships and interpersonal dynamics. Maria experienced enhanced self-awareness and improved relationships through her embodiment, and she gained tools to navigate life with confidence and understanding. Carol gained new perspectives on relationships and a deeper understanding of herself in confronting her shadows. Okay, so it's time to wrap it up. Welcome to the other side of this training, and thank you so much for taking the time to invest in consent awareness and your transformation, and how you can easily recharge and enhance your intimate fulfillment. I hope you feel inspired by what touch, intimacy, and connection can mean for you. My invitation to you here is: be the change that you want to see in your life. And if you choose, I'd love to see you on your call. Bye for now.